Hey there, my name is Tom and today I'll present you the current state of our app. To give a bit of context, we are currently working together with an IT consulting company called Viadee, and our task is to create an app that lets you both play and create quizzes. So let's get started with the actual presentation of our app. I'm currently running all of this on a virtual machine that is emulating a Google Pixel 3a, and as you can see, the first thing you are greeted with when opening the app is a login page. For demonstration purposes, I'll be logging in as an admin, but the login backend is already capable of handling both login for users and admin accounts, so theoretically I could also be logging in as a user and I would not have any of the admin privileges. And as you can see right here, this is the home screen. Let's start by going over all the things you can see on the screen right now. At the top we have a taskbar where you can see the current activity you're in, and also an edit mode that is only visible to administrators, and a logout button. We will go over the edit mode later. Down here we have a scroll view for both labels and quizzes. If we click on the label card, we are brought to another activity where we can see a list of all quizzes that contain this specific label. And as you can see here, each quiz has a title, a number of questions and a play button. We can also use the back button of our Android phone to go back to the last activity where we're in. Right now I'm just pressing the escape button on my keyboard, but in reality you would have an actual button you could click on the bottom of your phone. Let's now play one of the quizzes. You can either play the quizzes by going into the labels and click on the play button, or you can directly play them through these quiz cards. Let's click on one of them. And as you can see right here, at the top you can see the type of the question, which is a single choice question, meaning that you can only select one single answer. And below that you can see the question itself. And here at the bottom you can see all possible options that you can click on, and you can see that I can only select one of them. And before we submit our answer, I want to explain what those indicators are on the left and the right of the question. The left indicates the difficulty of the question, which directly correlates to the amount of points you gain by correctly answering the question. And if we go to the next question, you can see exactly that. The previous one was an easy question, indicated by the green button. Now we have a medium question, which is indicated by a yellow button, and you can see that a medium question gives you more points than an easy question. Now if you continue, we get to the last question, which is a multiple choice question. That means that we can select more than one option. And if we now click on submit, we are brought to the final screen, which is the result page. And on here you can see the total amount of points you gained, and you can also get an overview on all questions that you answered. If you now click on any of these, you will be brought back to a result activity where you can see which answer you selected, indicated by the green border, and also which option was actually correct. And if we now return back to the result activity and click on the multiple choice question, we can see the exact same thing. We see all the options that we selected and which of them were actually correct. Now let's go back to the homepage and see what happens when we enable edit mode. As you can see, two new buttons pop up, and if we click on the first one, we are brought to a new screen. And on here you can see all quizzes that have been uploaded to the database. And just to mention, yes, all of this runs on a remote database. And you not only have a play button, but also a button to edit or delete the quiz. Let's now use the plus button at the bottom right of the screen to create a new quiz. This will take you to a new activity. Here you can set the quiz title and also add any label you want. And if you click on the plus button at the bottom right, you can choose which type of question you want to implement. Let's start by creating a single choice question. Right here you can set the question title, the text, and select its difficulty. And by pressing the plus button at the bottom right of the screen, you can add more options. And after filling out everything, I can select which of these options are correct, and I can also freely delete or move around all the cards. Now let's do the same thing but for a multiple choice question, and as you can see it's almost the same, the only difference being that you can select multiple correct answers. And now all you have to do is rearrange the questions however you want and then click on the submit button. And this will upload your quiz onto the remote database so everyone can see it. Now we are back at the home screen, and when I scroll down you can make the home screen activity reload. And when you scroll to the right you can see that both our quiz and our label have successfully been uploaded onto the database.